Selenium with CHAS training session 23. In today's session, you can learn how to simulate a single mouse click and drag and drop an element with the help of actions class available in Selenium WebDriver using CHAS. So Selenium WebDriver Advanced User Interaction API allows user to perform basic operations such as simulating keyboard and mouse event to complex event scenarios. Example, holding a key and then performing mouse operation, dragging and dropping, right? Kind of double click, context click, right? Move the element. So these are the operations sometimes we need to perform it. So the Selenium's WebDriver actions class implement the builder pattern to create a composite action containing a group of other actions. These are the important methods available in the actions class through which we can perform different operations, right? We can click, context click, we can right click, we can double click, right? We can drag and drop, we can click and hold, right? These are the different operations you can perform it. So each and every method and the description has been given. With the help of build method, right? Sequence of actions that were specified so far, it can be built, right? Click, with the help of click method, user can click the mouse on last known location. With the help of click IWebElement, click the mouse on a specified element instead of unknown location. Click and hold will be, right, with the help of click and hold method, we can click and hold the mouse on the last known location. So it will be whatever location it was last time holded, it will be clicking on that location. But if we preference the IWebElement, so that particular specified element will be clicks and hold. Similarly for the context click, right click the mouse on the last known location. With the help of context click IWebElement, it will right click the mouse on a specified element, whatever element we are referring, with the help of IWebElement, right? Similarly double clicks the mouse on the last known location. Double click IWebElement will double click the mouse on specified element. Similarly with the help of drag and drop, we can perform a drag and drop operation on one element. Similarly with the help of drag and drop to offset, we can perform a drag and drop operation on one element to a specified offset. With the help of move to element IWebElement, we can move the mouse to a specified element. With the help of perform method, we can execute the currently build actions, and with the help of release method, we can release the left mouse button from that mouse current location. So to today's session, we will learn two important aspects. One is like simulating a single mouse click as well as the drag and drop. So how can we simulate a single mouse click on particular element, right? So if you refer that web element, right? This is the web page, right? Agile, quality, right? Made it easy, right? That web element you can see. If you mouse over and right, you can see these are the different. It will be displayed, right? Similarly, if you open, let's try to refresh the page once again. And after that, if you mouse over, right, or if you want to simulate a single mouse click, right, you can see after mousing over a single mouse click, that options will be being displayed, right? You can see the about me is coming, and my experience, it might take some time to load the page. Once the page is loaded fully, if you mouse over to a option, right, that particular details will be get displayed, right? You can see that is called, if you click about me, you can see the about me option is getting displayed. If you click on the home, right, the home section is getting displayed. So this is called simulating a single mouse click on a particular element. Then how can we do it, right? So suppose I want to click on the my experience option. So definitely when the page will be loaded, it will be the home page, right? So I want to click on the my experience option. After that, I want to click on the about me option. So let's try to inspect the element with the help of F12 button, right? Let's identify the my experience option here. Okay, you can see. Okay, one second. Let's me try to go in the my experience option again. Okay, you can see there is a style, there ID is there, right? conf, that is the ID. So let's try to find that ID, and you can see only one match is fine. So I can identify the element with the help of ID, right? So first thing is that I will be going to the Visual Studio and I am trying to launch the page in the Chrome browser. After maximizing it, then I will be identifying the element, right? Identifying the element with the help of IWebElement. So IWebElement, suppose say element equal to driver dot find element. So by ID we are identifying it. So by dot ID, right? So that is the ID, I can have it, and so my element identification is done. But before that, if you want to perform the operation with the help of actions class, we need to create an object for the actions class, right? Actions class, I can create an object for instance called act equal to new actions, where I need to typecast the driver. So that way it will work, right? So that's why we can create an object for instance for the actions class, right? So actions, this is the object element, and new actions and driver. Okay, you can see there is no error messages there. Now if you want to simulate, right, say mouse click on the element, then how can you do it? You need to take the object or instance whatever you have created for the actions class dot, right? If you dot, you can see the lot of methods, important method, whatever is available for the actions class will be being displayed, right? So what we need to do, first we need to click. Which we need to click? I need to provide the reference for element, right? This is the element. After that, once I clicking it, then I need to build and perform the operation, right? So that's why I can simulate single mouse click event dot perform. Okay. Now let's see whether code is working or not. So I am navigating to the web page in any of the browsers, right? So I have set up the property for the browser, maximizing it. I am navigating to the URL, and with the help of actions class I am creating object for instance, and whatever web element, right, I want to click here. Suppose in my experience I want to click, right? So I will be identifying the web element with the help of element locator technique. So here ID is there, so with the help of ID I will be creating a variable for the web element, and then with the help of actions class object, right, I will be using click method, and I am passing the reference for the web element reference, then build and then perform. And so that particular element, right, where my experience button will be clicked and the relevant details will be shown in the screen. So let's try to run the code and let's see what is happening here. So it will try to launch the browser, Chrome browsers. Once the browser is launched, right, it will maximize the browser. After that, it will pass the URL. Once the URL is fully loaded, then it will click on that options, right, with the help of simulating single mouse click, and then option will be displayed in the page, the relevant details after clicking on that options. So you can see the page is getting loaded. So it might take some time because a lot of details is there in the page. Once that it's getting loaded, it will click on the my experience button, link, and definitely all the details will be displayed. So definitely you can, right, sometime you can identify it, and with the help of click operation you can do it, but in case sometime it is not working, right, with the help of actions class you can identify the element, right, you can click on it and you can build and perform the operations. So that's why in case your normal click is not working, you can take the help from the actions class, and with the help of that you can click, build and perform the operation, so that relevant details will be displayed from the my experience section here. So it is still taking time, but once the page is fully loaded, it will be click on the my experience option. You can see my experience details is getting shown, right? So my script is automatically working for the single mouse click on an element, right? So that's why in case other option is there, you can on the same page, right, you can identify and you can perform the operation. Okay, so that is the different it is one of the advantage. So with the help of actions class we can simulate single mouse click, right? And now you can see that how you can perform drag and drop. So let's comment out this code and we'll performing a drag and drop. So we need to open another web page. Here we'll performing the drag and drop. So let's find other web page. So perform drag and drop is nothing. So in case you want to you want to click and drag something to other places, right? That's so you can do the drag and drop. So this is the web page. You can see here, right? If you open the web page, so there is two options. One you can drag and one you can place into the other option, right? So let's change the URL here first. So you can see here the ball option you can drag, right, and you can drop in that section, right? So that's how you can drag and drop. So let's first try to identify the element. Before that, just try to understand what is drag and drop. So actions class need to be used to perform the drag and drop operations. To drag an element onto another element and drop it, user first need to locate the source and target elements and pass them as input to drag and drop method of the actions class, right? So there is a two way available to drag and drop. So we need to create an object or instance for the actions class. We need to identify source and target. Source means which we will be dragging and target means where we want to drag the source element, right? Then we can directly call drag and drop methods. We can provide source and target and we can perform it. So that is the one way we can drag and drop source to the target, right? Another way that with the help of actions class object, we can click and hold where I can provide the source element. So we will be clicking and holding the source and then we are moving the element to the target, right? And then we are releasing it and we are building and performing the operation. So that's how you can drag and drop it. So we'll try to learn both the approach for dragging and dropping here. So let's go to the Visual Studio here. So we are trying to navigate to that page. Now I'll be creating an object or instance for the actions class. So same code I'll be using it here. Now I'll be identifying the element, right? One drag and drop. So once I can identify with the help of source, once I am giving the variable name as source. Okay, so source I'll be identifying which is source, the ball is the source and this is the goal, right? We can place drag and drop it. Let's try to identify it with the help of F12 button here and with the help of inspector. What is the properties for the dragging part? So this is the ball here, right? You can see ID is ball. So I think there is no element available. So with the help of ID I can identify the source. So this is the ID ball. So I need to drag the ball to the goal symbol, right? So let's try to inspect the other one also. You can see this is the gate, right? In the goal gate I want to place it, right? So the another one I'll be identifying with the help of gate ID. So IWebElement target. Okay, so here it will be gate. Okay, because this is the ID, right? Then now the two approach we can implement it. One is that with the help of that actions class object, I can simply call drag and drop method, right? Drag and drop, and here I need to provide source and a comma sign target. You can see it's coming, right? And then here I need to perform the operation PERFORM. So that is the one way. This is the first approach. Right, through which we can drag and drop. So with the help of actions class object, I will be calling the drag and drop methods available in the actions class, and I am already identified source and target element, and I am giving the source and target. So source will be dragging and it will drop to the target location. I am performing. Let's see how the thing is working in the execution as well. So it will open the page after opening the Chrome browser, maximizing it. Once the page is fully loaded, it will identify both the element and the ball will be dropped to the gate of the goal, right? Goal bar. So it is opening the page. Now you can see once the page is fully loaded, ball is getting dropped. Ball is dragging and getting dropped to the gate of the goal bar, right? So that's so it is working. My code is working fine completely. So my approach 1 is working fine. Now I will go for the second approach, where I will be taking the actions class object, then I will be calling the another methods available in the actions class, which is click and hold. Click and hold. So which I will be clicking and holding? Source, right? Definitely source. So I will be clicking and holding the source, right? And then how will be doing? Move to element. So I am holding it, after that I am moving to element, right? Move to element where? Target, right? Then after you press dot, you can see the release. We need to, after clicking and holding the source and moving to the target, we need to release it, right? The source to the target, right? Then we need to perform the operation. So release, where I need to release? In the target. Then I need to perform the operation. So build.perform. .perform. So that is the another approach. I can mention it, second approach. Okay, for dragging and dropping. Okay, so let's try to execute the code and let's see whether the drag and drop is happening with the help of second approach, where I am identifying the object coordination for the actions class, clicking and holding the source, moving to the element target, and then releasing it to the target, and then building the operation, build.perform. So that's way, right? And just like the simple English language sentence, you need to just try to understand the flow, right? So I can call drag and drop, I directly perform the operation. Either I can do one thing, I can click and hold the source and I can move the source to the target, I can release it to the target, I can build and perform the operation. You can see drag and drop is happening, right? So that's why you can perform the drag and drop operation, right? So like actions class provides lot of important methods through which we can write normal single click, double click, context click, right? Drag and drop, move to the element, right? And click and holding and release it, right? The element. So if you want to simulate a single mouse click on the element, we need to create a actions class object, and with the help of that we need to click, build and perform. And if you want to drag and drop, so you need to identify the source and target, you need to create an object coordination for the actions class. With the first approach, with the help of the actions class object, you can drag and drop and perform the operation. And second approach, you can click and hold the source, you can move it to the target, and you can release it to the target and build and perform the operation, right? So that are the interesting methods available in the actions class. So that's all for today's session. Thank you.